Welcome, friends. Today, we're doing a family portrait video. Madness. That is right, my friends. Once again, I have returned to you, this time with a family portrait video. How strange. I haven't done one of these in ages. I think I've done one on Andy Tower, and I think I've done one on Serge Luton's. I also think, but I'm not sure, that I came up with this idea. I've seen a few people do it. I encouraged Ramsey to do it because he's got a lot of perfumes by a lot of houses. But today I am doing my own one on the house of Etro from Italy. So I'll read this little blurb thing that's on Fragrantica about the house. Etro is an Italian fashion house and manufacturer of fabrics, accessories, leather goods, clothes and fragrances. It was founded in 1968 by Gomma Etro, and it is still the family business. It's got a large blurb, which I'm not going to read, but that is a pretty good insight into the founding of the brand. It's still family owned. It's a designer house. I've heard Roger Dove strangely call it a niche house, and it's not, which is strange because he's usually spot on with his fragrance history stuff. But I mean, it's not a major discretion in it. Do you know what I mean? It's not a major it's not a major thing. But Etro started making fragrances, I believe, in 1989. And they initially came as eau de colognes, and they released a number of these fragrances, and I own 4 of the original. I own 4 of the original Etro eau de colognes in their proper presentation, as they were all splashes, and I bought them sealed from a place in Italy at not inconsiderable expense, I can assure you. And I also have other versions of the same perfumes, but in splashes, in sprays, which came later. I will present them all together if I've got doubles, and we will go over them. So, first off, I think we will start by going through the minis. I've got 4 minis, and they're absolutely beautiful and ornate. And then we'll go through the rest of them. Okay, so first mini I have is something called Vicolo Fiori. I don't know what that means, but let's have a look. This, I believe, will be the eau de toilette. They moved from eau de colognes to eau de toilette, and then recently they started releasing eau de parfums. As often happens with these fragrances, the eau de parfums aren't as strong as the eau de colognes and eau de toilettes. Very strange. But Vicolo Fiori represents a break from the city and relaxation for the senses in the flower street. It was released in 1996. It's got mandarin orange, which I'm a huge fan of, lotus, water lily, cyclamen, melon. Oh, I'm getting the melon straight away. And the orange, the mandarin. It is very floral, but it's also a little bit fruity too. That's very nice. It's very kind of springy, you know, in both sense of the words. It smells like spring, and it also has this kind of summer fruity kind of vibe. Peachy, melon, juicy fruit kind of thing. Something's like grounding it and basing it as well. It's a very pretty, summery, beautiful, absolutely beautiful thing. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. Here is the mini up close. Can you see? That is gorgeous. That's a plastic stopper. but we won't hold that against it. That is a glass bottle, and it is ornate, and it is beautiful. That is fantastic. And I got 4 of these minis in a bottle of something, which I will show you a bit later. Love a mini. Big mini collector. I still need to do the mini video, so not to worry. Okay, next up we have a fragrance, an eponymous fragrance. And this is, oh, it's not eponymous, almost eponymous fragrance. This is called Etro. Etro by Etro. 1999 this came out in. Cardamom, coriander, paprika, sandalwood, rose, vanilla. Etro perfume is a fragrance for women to emphasize their strength and for men to reveal a feminine side. Oh, it's very woody. A little bit spicy. Fresh. A little floral. I bet this is an eau de toilette, is it? Yes, it is. This is one that was released in 1999. Oh, it's got something of another perfume about it. It's a very particular wood. A little bit of egoist, maybe. That would be the rosewood. It's not quite as sweet, though. It's not quite as sweet. That is lovely. There you are, there's those. The minis are absolutely gorgeous. These bottles are amazing. I love them. I do love a mini. These are really ornate. As you can see, these are like very old world, old school kind of things, you know. One of the things I like about it. Okay, next up we have a fragrance that I am not going to like. Well, I know I don't like. This was one of the originals released in 1989. This is called Heliotrope. Heliotrope eau de toilette. Or is that eau de cologne? That's eau de cologne, by God. Some of these are eau de toilette and some of them are eau de cologne. The rascals. Throwing me off. How do you like that? Get a close-up of my hand as well. How pink. Okay, let's have a swill of this. A swill of this. I'll just have a drink. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. Oh, big almond thing. Cherry Bakewell almond. Is there almond? Yeah, there is almond. Of course there's almond in this, yes. Wow. Big almond. Floral. Vanilla, ylang ylang, resin, sweet resin, tonka. I actually really like that. That's really nice. It's not something I would wear, but that is actually very, very nice. It's not too thick, it's not too dense, but there's a lot of almond in there, my God. If you like almond perfumes, that is a winner. That is really, really very well put together, that actually. One of the original run. They came in these fabric boxes, so they would have a box and then they would have some material like paisley on them. I will show you when I show you the eau de colognes, the original bottles, in a minute. Okay, next up, where is it? There it is. Next up, we have a mini, which I also have a bottle of. I've actually got 2 bottles of this because it's absolutely stunning, but not to worry. This is Shantung eau de toilette. This is an absolutely amazing fragrance, which I love a lot. I haven't worn it as much as I should and as much as I'd like to, but it is absolutely amazing. It came out in 1977, and it is named after an Indian princess. It apparently has a kind of oriental aspect. See, I don't get that. I don't get that from this at all. It's based on incense, vetiver, bergamot, and it's quite aromatic in the heart. It has that kind of rosemary thyme kind of thing going on. Here is the mini, which you have seen, and this is, oh, excuse me, There you go. Shantung. No, it's not. It's because the Shantung in the background. Anyway, this is my eau de toilette. This is the previous presentation. They don't make this presentation anymore. Not sure when they switched. I wish I did. But this is, to me, this is very aromatic. Fresh, spicy, vetiver, masculine perfume. For me, it is absolutely gorgeous. Why they have said that this is based on, named after an Indian princess, I don't know. Because to me, this is very masculine. It's got the cedar, it's got the nutmeg, a little bit of incense. It's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous, if I'm being honest. I really like this stuff. Green, big vetiver, creamy, spicy, aromatic. I've actually got a full bottle of this up for sale. But I may change my mind about that because I might wear this in the spring and the summer. Absolutely amazing perfume. It's a brilliant house, if I'm being honest. It's an absolutely brilliant house. The perfumes are really well made. I would beware though, because the contract to make their perfumes has recently been taken over by L'Oreal. And L'Oreal are very poor at remaking existing perfumes. Some of the stuff they put out as originals is brilliant, but you need only take a look at what they did to Mugler and what they have done to Prada Ambra Pour Homme. Decimated. Absolutely decimated them. Now, whether that's been done on purpose because they wish to get rid of them so they can make their own stuff, I don't know. I don't know how these things work, but L'Oreal, as soon as I hear L'Oreal associated with perfume, I'm just like, nope, don't want to know. Okay, next up, what will I do? I will go with Sandalo. Sandalo, you can see how much I've used of this, and there is a very good reason for that. This is one of the original perfumes that was released by Etro, and again, it is beautiful. It is from 1989, and I decant this and put it into a like a spray bottle, a little 10ml thing, and it's so quiet. It's vanishingly subtle. It's very, very, very subtle. Too subtle, really, if I'm being honest, which is why I've used so much of it, because I have to respray it every hour. This is a 125ml bottle. This is the original presentation. So if you see these, you know, look at the ingredients: ethyl alcohol, water, fragrance, which always makes us laugh, and then a colouring, FD EC yellow number 5. So bizarrely, when I put this on my skin, a slight banana vibe from it, like this creamy, sweet kind. I mean, it's obviously the sandalwood, you know, it doesn't have banana in it. But the sandalwood is utterly dominant in here, and it is very, very nice. The smell of this perfume is gorgeous, but it acts very much like an eau de cologne. The top is it's almost silent. You can't get any of that orange, lemon, citrus kind of thing. You get the smallest hint of some geranium and some vanilla. But this is all about the sandalwood. And it's more that creamy aspect of sandalwood. It's not the type of sandalwood you smell and you think, that's very woody. I don't get that at all on my skin. It's very quiet, but it's very, very nice. Again, extremely well made. It if you can help it, don't buy the black and white zebra looking boxes. They've got like a purple box on the front, like a purple square on the front with a wrap around purple like label. Try and get the older ones, you know, the brown boxes. They're much better. This is really nice. I've also got a spray of this, but I haven't got it out. Okay, next up is a perfume. I have, well, I say it's a perfume, it's an eau de cologne. This is one of those old school Vetiver perfumes, right? It is extremely dry and dark and smoky. And again, it's one of the original releases from 1989. Again, it functions a little bit like the Sandalo in that it's got clary sage, it's got musk cedar. Really what I get from this is vetiver, cypress, and the smallest hint of tobacco. But it's this very green, dark, lively, smoky thing. Performance is far superior to the Paisley. Not the Paisley, the Etro. As you can see on here, it's got Paisley written there, and that is the type of texture. That's the type of material they used, right? There, you can see it's not a material label, but you can see the pattern on it. And the pattern on it is, it comes in them type of boxes with that pattern on. This is dark and smoky, and I imagine this is quite a difficult wear because it's a dark green smoke. You know, if you like the sound of that, that could be the fragrance for you. I've struggled to use that, as you can see, I've only used a couple of mils of it, you know. Okay, next up we have Ambra. Ambra by Etro. This is probably my favourite. You know, probably my favourite. I will come to another one that might be my favourite in a minute, but this is very, again, it's one of the originals that came out in 1989. It's your very typical amber. It's all labdanum, apopanax, vanilla, benzoine, styrax. There's a lot of styrax I get in this. A lot. You know, it's got some crossover with the next fragrance I'm going to show you. It's a little bit woody. This is the eau de cologne. This is also the eau de cologne, but there's been a definite reformulation here because this one is a lot more labdanum heavy, and I mean the resin. It's much more resinous. It's much more thick and sticky and rubbery, and a lot more in that kind of more common, well-known amber thing. It's been tainted. This one's a lot more smoky, this amber. It's got some of the sandalwood about it as well, almost this kind of creamy texture. The vanilla. These were all sealed bottles as well when I bought them, right? I think I only bought... No, all of these were sealed. I'm the one who took them out of the boxes. So they've been well looked after because I bought them from a perfume shop in Italy. But there's been a definite reformulation between these two, and this one is a lot more of your average, not your average. Average and common are the wrong words to use it. It's more familiar, right? Because it's a brilliant fragrance. The amber is fantastic, and even though it's an eau de cologne, I get really good performance out of it. And it's a shame that they changed them. It's a shame that, I think it's a marketing exercise because eau de cologne indicates to people that they're weak. It's not weak. None of these are weak at all. Maybe with the exception of the Sandalo. Oh, that's really, really good and interesting. Interesting. Very nice. Oh no! Stop picking things up by the lid. Richard, behave. Okay. Next up I will do the last of the original bottles, and this is one that I absolutely love. You will have heard Ramsey talking about this before because, wow, this is a top leather perfume, and this is Gomma. It is very much in the style of your Derby and your Quermaresque and them kind of IBQ leathers, but it's very much an Italian take on it. It was made by Edward Fleischer, apparently. It's a little bit green at the top, like the same, it's got Artemisia in, the same that Derby has, whereas Derby's got mint, this has got lemon, this is very jasmine-y, it's round and thick in the base. It does remind a bit of that Ambra perfume, because it's got some of that Ambra accord in it. The greenness really stands out. It's lively. It's moving. It's moving. It's an absolutely sensational leather. If you like leather perfumes, you should definitely be looking to try and get your hands on a smell of this. Don't blind buy it. Get a sample if you can. It's still available from them. No, they do shower gels as well, apparently. I think Gomma means rubber in Italian, but I could be wrong. It's absolutely fantastic, though. This is a brilliant fragrance. I absolutely love it. Okay, next up, I will show you this. This is Mahogany. I'm not going to lie to you, I don't get on with this one. It's not my thing. It's been discontinued by the brand, actually. It came out in 2004. And this is a big, woody, clove, cumin pepper type thing. It's got that kind of tickly itch, spice, dry wood kind of thing that I don't like. Spice cupboard. Sometimes can be, like, depending which are the more prevalent one. This one feels like it's dominated by clove, and I don't like clove. It's got a weird greenness about it, like a herbal green kind of thing. I'm not a big fan of that. It's an eau de toilette. I'm not going to spend much time on it. I'm just not a fan, if I'm honest. I can't imagine wearing it. Okay, next up to one that I do like, and this is Messe de Minuit, or Messe de Minuit, Midnight Mass. This is Midnight Mass. It is the eau de toilette. And it came out in 1994. It is a giant myrrh labdanum thing, but it does genuinely smell like rubber. To me, it's got this thing like a bit like Le Lion and Shalimar, which I just don't like. It's very resinous, but it's also very grippy and rubbery and balloon-like, and I don't like it, and I don't like wearing it. Although I like the smell of it, I like the idea of it, but I don't like the smell of it. And it's a shame, because it's one of those perfumes like Shalimar, like Le Lion, that I really should love, but I don't. I just don't like that balloon-type vibe I get from it. You know when you're blowing up a balloon and you get that kind of smell of the rubber expanding, you get the taste of it, and it's a bit gross. Anyway, next up is one of my latest arrivals from the house, and one that I need to spend more time with, actually, and it is another one of the originals, but this is in a later eau de cologne bottle. This is Patchouly. This is the perfume I bought in like a set, and the minis came as part of it. It's a good old-fashioned patchouli perfume, an Italian patchouli perfume, sandalwood, amber, vanilla, patchouli, maybe some benzoin in there, creamy. Very Italian patchouli fragrance. The Italians always do a patchouli. Almost all the Italian houses I know do a patchouli. It's very reminiscent of Profumum Roma's. Don't know why I rolled my R there. Profumum Roma's patchouli. It is like Bois 1920s patchouli, which I love the Eau de Toilette version of. This is the Eau de Cologne, and I'm looking forward to getting it. It's very earthy. It smells like dirt, like soil. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. It's a brilliant fragrance. I'm looking forward to getting to know this in the autumn. I'm probably going to put this at the top of my list for like trying it there. Trying next. Excuse me. Trying next autumn and winter season. We're coming to the end of the autumn and winter season in soon. I think I've got about a week left personally. How the way I work it out, which people don't agree with, but I hope they know what they can do. And last but not least, this may be the best composition I've smelled from the house, actually. This may be the best fragrance from the house. This is Palais Jamais. This was one of the originals as well, but I couldn't get an original bottle. It's so good. It's so green and round and wonderful and well made, and it stands out, and it's fresh and it's green and it's new. It's got the aromatic start. It's got this petitgrant jasmine kind of combination, which is it's like leaves and broken twigs and sticks, fresh broken twigs and sticks. It's you could wear this in spring, summer and autumn. Maybe you would struggle in winter, but it could be saved. You could wear it in winter if you wanted to, because it has this smoky oak moss birch vetiver thing, and it's not dark like their vetiver offering. It's not that kind of, it's not too much. It just has that edge. It's just refined. It's really well made. It's very clever. It's very distinct. It's lively. It's got some freshness. It's got some newness to it. If you can get to smell this, I would recommend that you did that. I don't know what the modern versions are like, which I don't for the rest of these perfumes, which is a shame. I must admit, I have smelled a couple of the modern versions of different scents other than ones I've got here, and I wasn't that impressed, and that was before L'Oreal took over. But these vintage ones, they're not going to be so expensive that they're prohibitively so that you can't find them. But if you can, and you can try them first, because I will never recommend blind buying to you, as tempting as it is, these are quality fragrances from what was a quality house. Maybe you will like the newer stuff that they've made, you know? Try them. I just don't. I am all about the vintages, do you know what I mean? If I can get vintage perfumes, I would rather extend to doing that. But that's just me. Anyway, this has been my family portrait of Etro, sugar and spice. I hope you have enjoyed it as much as I enjoy these fragrances. I'm not going to get them all in. But thank you very much for watching, everyone. and I hope to see you all again soon. See ya.